You know, I've been doing this job now for about around next to 25 years, and all I've seen is it get progressively worse and worse and worse with the so-called land police. Okay, all the time that we've been here in the sheriff's office of the 29 counties, we've been trying to fight a fight that's never seemed to gain any ground in all of that time. And as a matter of fact, it's just gotten worse and worse. You know, we've got a FBI, and we got DEA, ATF, and ICE. We've always been able to work with them people because they would only come and do major felony cases and different things like that, so they was always kind of out of the way until we needed them. We've got a Bureau of Land Management police and a Forest Service police that are out doing the same exact jobs that my deputies can do and every other deputy sheriff in this county and sheriff can do. They're writing misdemeanor tickets. You know, just for instance, my uncle was down on the Ponsagunt hunting deer, and we have a federal BLM ranger come to my uncle's camp, and he was out cooking his dinner, and he stopped him and made him quit cooking his dinner and go get the registrations for the four-wheelers that was parked in his camp. Now that's the kind of stuff that we've been seeing grow and grow and grow in our community. And I know that Danny's going to speak on the law enforcement part of it, so I'm going to kind of just get back to the management of the mismanagement of what's going on in our forests. We've been watching this, you know, things happen like the South Creek drainage in Beaver County. Quite a few years ago was a stream where the cattle could come in there and eat and get them a drink of water. And the Forest Service decided they were going to fence that stream so that in the name of a native fish that was living there. And all the ranchers and people that run that was told the Forest Service that they went down and fenced both sides of the stream and made dams in it. And the ranchers told them that river dries up and the fish would follow the stream back up the creek. Well, they went down and they made check dikes and little ponds in that stream to where the fish started, when the water started to drying up, the fish would swim upstream to live, and it trapped the fish and killed them all. Killed all the fish in the stream when they was afraid that a cow was going to step on one. You know, we've got an aspen regeneration project that they're trying to throw in our face down on the Monroe Mountain, where they want to burn the mountain down and keep the cattle off for a period of time of 2 years or 2 years or more. It's endless. Yet they're burned that they don't follow up on what they're burning. Now here about 8 or 10 years ago, the mountain permit that I own, they burnt that whole mountain, and there's millions of board feet of dead standing trees, and eventually they get rotten and the wind blows them down, and they start crossing each other over. They never follow up their burns to clean it up and make it look decent. So there's grass this tall setting out on the hillside, and there's no way for an elk to even get there and eat it. So there's a lot of issues like this going on. But the one thing I am going to tell you is, if you I get along with my forest ranger and the BLM guys that run my permit. But if you get a bad one, just like we have right now on the Monroe Mountain that's trying to do all this projects, and I know that he's just doing it in the name of, so he can have something to stick on his resume so he can move on to a bigger and better job. Can literally ruin people's lives. We had this 2 years ago. That ranger came down and called me on the phone and told our permittee that he was told me that he was going to cut 50% of this guy's permit. And then not even a month later, he called me and says, this permit's permanently done. Well, I called him on the phone and told him, this is not permanently done. If you don't have this fixed by next June, me and my deputies are going to be driving his cattle on that mountain. So they came down and worked some things out. But if you get the wrong forest ranger, I'm here to tell you that they can make, it's no different than me being a sheriff. If I want to pick you out of the crowd and work you over, and I want to live right there every day, watching every move you make, I could have you in jail every day.
He's talking to you, Brad King. And it's Brad's birthday day. He's 60, so you're looking at the right guy, Sheriff.
What I'm getting at is that there's an abuse in the Forest Service that is in 1995 I got a permit up on the Dixie National Forest on Mount Dutton. 1995, a letter comes out that says you're cut 20%. We're going to do a permanent reduction on your permit of 20%. Then we're going to do a non-use on your permit for 20% more. And then in 1987, we're going to do another 8% reduction on your permit. That permit, one time in 1995, that permit was 374 head. That was before the projects that they had done in the lower allotment. Now it's 208. Since that time, we have built 3 different separate pastures in there. They have eradicated the trees on that permit, and the orchard grass in there is this tall in the spring when we go on the mountain. Yet it's almost cut in half of the AUMs in the last 10 years, whatever that is, the last 20 years. Okay. This is just one for instance of what's going on with if you look back there, every one of them guys that's got a cowboy hat on back there, and everybody else has got the same looking piece of paper, you know.
We're 8 minutes, Sheriff.
Okay, I'm just gonna
have to get the next 2 guys up here. I'm gonna ask them to come up and sit next to each other. This would be Gary Allen and Stanton Gleave if they'd come up, and you go ahead and wrap it up.
Okay, I'm just gonna wrap this up by telling you all, I'm not really a big fan of the militia showing up in my county, and I'm not going to allow that to happen, because I got a militia, and it's that bunch right back there that's got the cowboy hats on, and every man, woman, and child in my county. And if the federal government's we're done taking cuts, we're done having them stop trample us in the ground, and if we would have had this kind of a setting in 1995, my cattle permit wouldn't be cut 48%. So I'm going to tell you right now, we're not taking no more cuts on the mountain. I'll deputize every man, woman, and child in that county to stop what's going on. So thank you for your time.
Thanks, Sheriff.